Good morning. The whispers of a creature, half beast, half myth, began to reach my ears from the edges of the known world. Traders and travelers alike spoke of a strange being that roamed the remote mountains of Thrace. Some described it as a lion with the head of a serpent. Others claimed it had wings like those of an eagle. The accounts were varied, inconsistent, yet each bore the same underlying tone of awe and fear. This creature, if it indeed existed, represented a challenge to everything I had learned and taught about the natural world. Intrigued, I decided to embark on an expedition to Thrace, determined to discover the truth behind these stories. If the creature existed, it would be a monumental find. If not, my inquiry would still serve to dispel the myths and reinforce the principles of empirical observation. I gathered a small group of my most capable students, individuals who had demonstrated not only intellect, but also the courage and resilience necessary for such a journey. The day we set out was marked by a crisp autumn wind that carried with it the scent of earth and decay. The sky was a vast expanse of pale blue, dotted with clouds that drifted lazily overhead. As we traveled northward, the landscape began to change, from the rolling hills of Macedonia to the rugged, untamed wilderness of Thrace. The mountains loomed ahead of us, their peaks shrouded in mist, casting long shadows over the valleys below. We arrived at a small village nestled in one such valley, where the inhabitants had reportedly encountered the creature. The villagers were a suspicious lot, their eyes wide with fear and superstition as they spoke of the beast that had taken several of their livestock. I could see in their faces the deep-rooted terror that comes from generations of living at the mercy of nature's whims. They pointed us towards the forested slopes where the creature had last been seen, and with cautious resolve, we made our way into the dense thicket. The forest was alive with sounds, the rustle of leaves, the chirping of birds, and the occasional snap of a twig underfoot. Each noise seemed amplified, heightened by the tension that hung in the air. My students and I moved slowly, carefully, our eyes scanning the undergrowth for any sign of the creature. The atmosphere was thick with anticipation, the shadows growing longer as the sun dipped lower in the sky. As we ventured deeper into the woods, I began to notice certain anomalies. Large clawed footprints in the mud, tufts of fur caught on the bark of trees, and the faint smell of decay that lingered in the air. These were signs of a large predator, but the evidence was conflicting, as if the creature was not one, but many, or perhaps something entirely different. My mind raced to piece together the clues, each discovery bringing us closer to the truth, yet also deepening the mystery. Finally, as dust settled, we reached a clearing where the trees gave way to a rocky outcrop. It was here that we found the remains of a deer, its body torn apart by what seemed to be both claws and teeth of varying sizes. My students looked to me, their faces a mixture of dread and curiosity. I knew then that the creature, whatever it was, had left its mark not just on the land, but on their minds as well. We set up camp near the clearing, determined to keep watch through the night. The fire crackled softly, casting flickering shadows that danced on the surrounding rocks. As the hours passed, I reflected on the day's findings, my thoughts drifting between the evidence before us and the many possibilities it suggested. Was this creature a mere figment of the collective imagination, a myth born from fear and the unknown? Or was there something more tangible, more real, lurking in the darkness? When morning came, it brought with it the clarity of reason. As I examined the tracks and the remains of the deer, I realized that what we were dealing with was not a single mythical beast, but rather a combination of natural phenomena. A pack of wolves, perhaps, scavengers that had left behind traces of their meal, and large birds that had swooped in afterwards to pick the bones clean. The legendary creature was nothing more than the result of fear and the natural order of predation in these wild lands. I gathered my students and explained my conclusion, pointing out the various signs that led me to this understanding. Some were disappointed that the mystery had resolved into something so ordinary, but I could see in others a growing respect for the process of inquiry itself. This journey, after all, was not just about finding a mythical creature, but about applying reason and observation to unravel the mysteries of the world around us. In the end, the hunt for the legendary creature was a lesson in the power of the mind, how easily it can be swayed by fear and superstition, but also how it can be guided by reason and empirical evidence. We return to Athens not with the head of a beast, but with something far more valuable, the knowledge that even the most fantastical stories often have their roots in reality, and that it is through diligent investigation and critical thinking that we uncover the truth. As you navigate your own life, remember this: the unknown can be daunting, but it is through the courage to explore, question, and observe that we find understanding. Whether the challenge before you is as elusive as a mythical creature or as tangible as a problem in your daily life, approach it with the spirit of inquiry, and you will uncover the truths that lie beneath the surface. I wish you an exciting day.